actually real? Is Trump really sending this money? And most importantly, are you going to get it? I'm seeing so many people confused about this, and honestly, the information is all over the place. Some people are saying it's definitely happening, others are saying it's just a proposal, and everyone's asking when the money is actually going to arrive. And I'm going to give it to you straight, what Trump actually said, what the White House confirmed, who would qualify, and most importantly, the realistic timeline for when you might see this money. All right, let's get into it. So let's start with what actually sparked all of this excitement. President Trump made a major announcement about these $2,000 payments, and here's exactly what he said. We're going to issue a dividend to our middle-income people and lower-income people of about $2,000, and we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. Now, this isn't coming from nowhere. Trump posted on Truth Social, explaining where this money would come from. He said, "We are now the richest, most respected country in the world, with almost no inflation and a record stock market. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone." Pay very close attention to that wording, $2,000 a person. This is really important because a lot of people are asking, is this per household or per person? According to what Trump posted, this would be $2,000 per adult and per dependent. That means if you're a family of 4, you could potentially receive $8,000. If you're a family of 5, that's $10,000. This is significant money we're talking about. Trump went on to say, all money left over from $2,000 payments made to low and middle income U.S. citizens from the massive tariff income pouring into our country will be used to substantially pay down national debt. So the idea is that the money coming in from tariffs, those taxes on imported goods, would fund these payments, and then whatever's left would go toward reducing the national debt. Now, after Trump posted this, a reporter asked White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt directly, should U.S. citizens expect a $2,000 proposal? Is the White House committed to making that happen? And this is what she said, and I'm quoting directly. The White House is committed to making that happen. Yes. And we are currently exploring all legal options to get that done. I don't have a timeline for you or any further details, but I can confirm for you that the president made it clear he wants to make it happen. And so his team of economic advisors are looking into it, and when we have an update, we'll provide one. So this is officially on the White House's radar. They're exploring how to make it happen, but, and this is important, they don't have a timeline yet, and they're still figuring out the legal and logistical details. Okay, so let's talk about who would actually get this money if it goes through. Based on what Trump has said and the information that's been released, here's what we know. The income threshold is $100,000. If you make $100,000 or less per year, you would qualify for the full $2,000 payment. Trump specifically said, not including high-income people. So there will be an income cutoff. Now here's what's really important for a lot of you watching. Even if you're a senior on Social Security, even if you're on SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, or even if you're a low-income household with no income at all, you could still be eligible. You don't have to be working to get this payment. This would include moms staying home with kids, seniors on Social Security, veterans on disability, people receiving SSI or SSDI, unemployed individuals, low-income workers, and remember, it's per person. So if you have kids, they would count too. A family of 4 making under $100,000 could get $8,000 total. That's life-changing money for families struggling with rent, groceries, and bills. Now, a lot of people are asking, where is this money actually coming from? Can we afford this? According to Trump's recent statements, the U.S. just received $29 billion in 1 week from reciprocal tariffs. That's billion with a B. To send $2,000 checks to every qualifying American, the total cost would be approximately $160 billion. At $29 billion per week, that means it would take roughly 5 to 6 weeks of tariff revenue to fully fund these payments, about 2 months total. So from a pure numbers standpoint, The money is potentially there. The tariff revenue is coming in. The question isn't, can we afford it? The question is, will Congress approve it, and when will it actually happen? All right, this is the part everyone's really asking about. When would you actually get this money? Here's where things get a little complicated. Trump recently said these checks would likely go out in the middle of next year, possibly around June or July. But a lot of analysts and experts are pushing for these checks to go out before Christmas. Why? Because millions of Americans need relief right now, not 6
And then they keep pushing it. Now it's June or July. Jesus, make up your mind.
months from now. Some political analysts are also pointing out that sending checks would put them right before the midterm election season. That timing isn't accidental. It could help boost support for Republicans heading into those elections. But here's my honest take. Millions of families can't wait until next summer. People are struggling to put food on the table right now. Rent is due right now. Christmas is coming, and parents want to be able to give their kids something special. The reality is, even if this was approved today, getting checks out before Christmas would be extremely tight. We're talking about processing payments for potentially hundreds of millions of people. The IRS would need to set up systems, verify eligibility, and process payments. When the last stimulus checks went out in 2021, it took about 2 weeks after the bill was signed for the first direct deposits to hit bank accounts. We're already in late November, so a Christmas timeline is looking unlikely, but not impossible if things move fast. Now here's something interesting that might surprise you. This isn't just Republicans supporting this idea. Some Democrats are actually backing it too. Andrew Yang, the former Democratic presidential candidate who ran on universal basic income, is saying Democrats should back Trump's plan. Yang previously proposed giving every American $1,000 per month as UBI, so he's already on board with direct payments to citizens. And it's not just Yang. Representative R.O. Khanna, a California Democrat, has proposed his own version of $2,000 payments to Americans making under $100,000. So you've got both sides saying the same thing. Americans need relief right now. Republicans are saying it should come from tariff revenue. Democrats are saying it's needed because of inflation. Either way, there's growing bipartisan interest in making something like this happen. But not everyone in Trump's administration is fully on board with how this money should be used. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was asked about the $2,000 checks in an interview with Fox News. The reporter asked if these checks might contribute to higher inflation, similar to what happened with pandemic stimulus checks. Bessent's response was interesting. He said there are a lot of things that are going to happen next year, and the tariff checks could be one of them. Maybe we could persuade Americans to save that. He then mentioned something called Trump accounts, which are part of Trump's big beautiful bill and would give $1,000 in government money to babies born in the U.S. over the next 3 years. Now, here's my take on this. Trump accounts for babies born in the future don't help families struggling today. Parents trying to keep the heat on don't need a savings account for a future baby. They need help with their electric bill right now. The $2,000 stimulus check is immediate relief, a breathing room for millions of Americans who are barely hanging on. It's great to think about the future, but people need help in the present. So what should you actually do with all this information? First, don't spend money you don't have yet. I know it's tempting to think, I'll get $2,000 soon, so I can buy this now, but nothing is finalized. Don't make financial decisions based on money that isn't in your account. Second, make sure your information is up to date. If payments DO get approved, you want to make sure the IRS can reach you. File your 2023 taxes if you haven't already. Update your address if you've moved. Make sure your direct deposit information is current with the IRS. Third, sign up for direct deposit if you haven't already. When stimulus checks went out in the past, direct deposit was always the fastest way to get paid. Paper checks took weeks or even months longer.